Hello and welcome all of you students once again. So today just continue with our previous topic. Last time we were discussed regarding the different types of the operating system with example. So this session last time we have started, and in the previous lecture we have discussed the first four type of the operating system. Like last time we have seen the batch operating system, then the multi-programming operating system, then we have seen the multi-processing operating system, and also we have seen last time the time sharing operating system. Okay, so today we'll discuss the remaining kind of operating system with example and some details. So what is operating system? That already from the last three lectures we are discussing, it is nothing but the kind of system program on which you can run the different kind of application program and other system program, and so that particular operating system as a system program act as a communication bridge or the interface between the user and the computer hardware. Okay, so there are the different tasks that is performed by the operating system, like main task is nothing but the allocation of resources and the services. So various kind of allocation of resources is done by the operating system, like resources like the memory allocation, then the device allocation, processors allocation, and the handling the one of the important resource, that is the information. Okay, so to do all these tasks, operating system consists of the different small modules within its. Okay, like operating system is a combined system program which is being formed with the help of the different kind of software modules. Like we have to keep the track of the process, we have the traffic controller, then we have to to manage the process and the processor, we have the scheduler, then to manage the memory, we have the memory management module, as well as to manage the different input output device or the input output programs, and to handle the files, we have the file system module within a operating system as a system program. So if you want to utilize the application like browsers, MS Office, Notepad, games, etc., etc., so only way you can run these all these things, and platform you required for all these things is nothing but the operating system. So as you know, you cannot directly communicate with the computer, as our language cannot be understood by the computer directly, and that is the reason we have to take the help of the operating system to communicate with the computer. Okay, so if you don't have the operating system on the computer, or even the if you don't have the operating system on the mobile, then you cannot utilize your computer or the mobiles. Okay, so that is nothing but the importance of operating system. So last time already we have discussed the this first four operating system. Okay, so today we'll discuss the remaining operating system. Okay, and then this part will be finished. So our fifth operating system is nothing but the network operating system. Okay, so from the name only you can understand what exactly is this network operating system. So generally, network operating system, as you can see in these figures, there is a one file server, and to this file server, different other computers as a client are attached. Okay, are network in the sense of the group of different computers connected together. So what do you mean by the server? So in the computer science, server is nothing but the kind of computer that serves the information to the other computers. Means this is also the computer, but on this computer, the kind of operating system installed is nothing but the network operating system. And what is the role this being performed by this server is nothing but the sharing of the different kind of information to the different these computers, as well as sharing of the different kind of what we can say the other things like files, printers, other security application, that everything can be shared from this particular main computer to which you are calling as a server. So here I have mentioned the server is a computer that serve the information to the other computers. Okay, so other computer means clients. Okay, client can connect to the server through either local area network or the wide area network, such as the internet. So client can be connected to this file server using the internet also, instead of the physical connections. Okay, but mostly the network operating system work betterly if you have the physical connection with all of these particular client computers. Okay, so that is nothing but the network operating system, where to the single server different kind of client computers are connected. Understood? And that different client computer can share the information from that file server. Okay, the different client computer can share, can get the access of different files, can get the access of other hardware device like printers, as well as the all the client computer can get the access of security application and other networking function can be accessed by these client computers from the server. Understood? So there is a kind of network is forming, and you can see on these the particular network operating system is being installed, and because of that this sharing become possible. Okay, as well as each of these client computer is having their CPU, RAM, memory, as well as their operating system. Okay, so here I have mentioned the same thing. This system run on a server, means operating system run on a server and provide the capability to manage the data, user groups, security application, and other networking function. This type of OS allows to share the different files, printers, security application, and other native function over a small private network. So same thing we have discussed on this particular machine system. The network operating system is installed, and because of that, it become possible to manage the data. It become possible to share the data from this server to all the computers of like client. It become possible to share the hardware device, like if you just have installed the printer or scanner on this particular file server, so there is a no need to install that printer and server on this other device. You can other this client device can access the printers and the scanner from this device only, or you can place the different files here for the security purpose, and that files can be accessed by the client only from the servers with the help of permission of the servers. Okay, so that is nothing but the network operating system. Here I have mentioned the one more important aspect of network operating system is that all the users are all aware of underlying configuration of all other users within the network and their individual connection, etc. That's why these computers are popularly known as a tightly coupled system. So means what? Yeah, this particular client computers, okay, other different kind of client computers as a users are they are well known, and they are all having the information regarding the what are the different information stored on this file server, what is the configuration of its neighbor client computers. Okay, so every details are available with each of these user clients. Okay, and they each of these clients are being what you can say physically connected with this point particular kind of servers. Understood? And that is the reason such kind of system is referred as a tightly coupled system. Okay, so each of these client, each of this server, now server is aware of how many devices are connected to itself, and which are other client devices are connected to the itself. So server knows everything, as well as this client also know about the what kind of connection has been made to this server. Also the client know the configuration of this server, configuration of other client machine, etc. So there is a quite transparency between this client connection to the server and the content of server, content of other clients, etc. That is the reason this statement I have mentioned. One more aspect of network operating system is that all the users are aware of underlying configuration of all other users within the network, their individual connections, etc. That is the why these computers are popularly known as a tightly coupled system. Okay, so that is the main thing related with the network operating system. So there are the some of the advantages and the disadvantages are also there related with this kind of operating system. So first we will discuss about the advantages of network operating system. So one of the advantages is nothing but the highly stable centralized server. So this is a highly stable centralized server. It is having the large capacity to store the information and to share the information. Okay. So security concerns are handled through the server. So client which are connected to this server, then there is a no need for the clients to think or to worry about the security. So everything regarding the security that is managed by the server itself. If some new technology, new hardware upgradation comes, then integration of that also the easy in the network operating system. Okay, so these are the some important advantages of network operating systems. So okay, and also along with the different advantages, some disadvantage also used to be there. So as we have discussed, the server is having the great capacity to store the information. It can provide the security also, and upgradation of new technology hardware also easy. So that is the reason the cost of this kind of server is very high. These are the costly. Okay. And another disadvantage, user has to be centrally depend on this particular computer as a server. Okay. And also maintenance and the updations are also the mandatory requirement, and maintenance and updation also need to be done regularly in case of the network operating system. Okay, so these are the points regarding the advantages and some disadvantages. So another important point is nothing but the different kind of examples related with the network operating system. So which are the network operating system available in the market? You must have heard about the Microsoft Windows Server 2003. Also in our college also there is a server is there. Okay, then Microsoft Windows Server 2008, then Unix. Okay, Unix operating system is also the network operating system. Unix, then Linux, Mac OS, then Novel NetWare, and BSD. These are the different examples of network operating system which are available in the market nowadays. Okay, so that is all about the network operating system. So let's see the next kind of operating system that is also the important and mostly popular operating system nowadays, that is the distributed operating system. And you can see the scenario of the distributed operating system here, and from this you can easily understand what exactly is this distributed operating system. Now here you can see the central point, the operating system is there on some machine, and this operating system is shared by all other machines, or you can say all other client machine. Okay, you can consider this as a client machine also, but these all other machines are having the CPU disk and the memory. You can see CPU disk memory, CPU disk memory. So these all the machine are not having the operating system. Okay, they are referring which operating system? This centrally located operating system. Understood? So one of the important point here you should note down, in case of the distributed operating system, all the machines are having the same kind of operating system, because all of these client machines are sharing this operating system. Understood? But that is not the case in case of our previous operating system that we have discussed now, that is the network operating system. In case of the network operating system, that different client and the server might have the different operating system. Understood that point? Just let me tell you here, this scenario you can see, this here the operating system install might be the different, here might be the different, here might be the different, here might be the different. Oh, okay, that is the case in case of the network operating system. But in case of the distributed operating system, the operating systems which is utilized by these all the machines are same. Okay, all the computers share the same operating system. Understood. That is the reason it is being referred as a distributed operating system. So here I have mentioned this type of operating system is a recent advancement in the world of computer technology, and are widely being utilized all over the world, and with very within a very less amount of time, this operating system has become famous. Okay. So various autonomous interconnected computers communicate with each other using the shared communication network. Means these are all the interconnected atomic. These are all the autonomous interconnected computers. Understood? Which is sharing this particular operating system, which is being installed somewhere remote location. Understood? And that is the main feature of distributed operating system, is what all the computers which are connected in case of the distributed networks, that all the computers are sharing the same kind of operating system. Okay. And as I have mentioned here, independent system having their memory unit, CPU, and disk. So you can see each of these individual computers are having their CPU, disk, memory, but everybody is sharing the same kind of operating system. So this is become, that is this whole scenario is nothing but the referred as what? Distributed operating system. Means here operating system is shared between the all the number of user or client computers. Okay, these are being referred as a loosely coupled system or distributed system. Okay, so there is a certain reason why this is being referred as a loosely coupled system. Okay, what is the reason? That we'll see in the next slide. Okay, so these processors which are being, I have shown you here in the different computers. So they might be having the different size. Okay, they might be having the different functions also. It is not like that every processor which is there in these computers which are connected to this central operating system having the same configuration. Each of these CPU or the processor might have the different configuration size. Okay. So major benefit that we can get utilizing this kind of operating system is that, okay, one important benefit we can get is nothing but what, even if you have the some files or important information stored centrally, it can be easily accessed by the other computers. There is a no need that this every computer must store that particular information. So you can store the information centrally and it can be accessed by all other computers. So same thing I have mentioned here. The major benefit of working with this type of operating system is that it is always possible that one user can access the files or software which are not actually present on his system, but some other system connected within network. That is, remote access is enabled within device connected in that network. Means even some XYZ software is needed by this system or this user or this user or this user, but that software is not present in their memory, but it is present on that central location where the distributed operating system is installed. So on that machine, so everybody can access that software or the files from this central location. Understood? Because all these computers might be connected to this central location from different geographical location. So remotely these different client computers or the users can communicate with these central computers where the distributed operating system is installed. Okay, and as they are remotely connected, there is no need of any kind of physical connection with this central location, central computer where the distributed operating system is installed. There is a no need of physical connection. This other client computer can connect with this central location computer where the distributed operating system is installed through some software or wirelessly. Okay, no need of the any kind of wire network there. Wireless network, using the wireless network, this all the different client computer can connected with this particular central computer where the distributed operating system is installed. And that is the reason this kind of system is referred as a loosely coupled system, where each processor has its own local memory. Okay, and a processor communicate with one another through the various communication lines such as the high speed buses and the telephone lines. Okay, it means this through the internet, all other client computer can through the internet, all other this client computer can connect it with this particular central computer where the distributed operating system is installed. Okay, so by loosely coupled system, it means that such computers not having any kind of hardware connection at the CPU or the memory bus level, but these computers are connected by the external interfaces that run under the control of software. Means using some softwares and using the taking the help of internet, these all other computers are connected to these central computers where the distributed operating system is installed. There is no need of any hardware connection of these computers with these central computers or these computers with this central computer. Okay, so these it is possible to remotely connect all the computers with these central computers where the distributed operating system is installed. There is a no need of hardware connections. Okay, that is the reason these systems are referred as what, loosely coupled systems. Okay, so accordingly, these distributed operating systems are having some advantages as well as some disadvantages. And one of the important advantages is what, failure of one will not affect the other network communication, as all system are independent, as all system are not independent from each other. Okay, as all system are independent of each other. Okay, so this not all systems are independent from each other. Means if this system get fails, okay, it will not going to affect on the other these computers, because each of these computers are okay, independent. Understood? So that is the main reason here. Even if one computer get fail, other computer can work properly and they can do the whatever the task that is assigned. Understood? So failure of one will not affect the other network computers, as all systems are independent from each other. Okay. Then next advantage we have, since resources are being shared, computation is highly fast and durable. Okay. So using these operating system resources, that is one of the important resource that is shared is the operating system. Understood? And that is the reason the computation or processing is fast if you utilize the distributed operating system. Okay. So another advantage is load on the host computer reduce. Okay, load on the host computer reduce in the sense this is the main computer. Okay, using this computer, different work can be shared within other computers. Okay, if some work is there which has to be completed by these central computers, then this central computer using the distributed operating system can share the works with the other different computers which are connected to it. That is the reason the load on this central computer get reduced. Okay, and because of that also, one of the another advantage we have, delay in the data processing reduce. So as the task is divided in other all other computers, so we can get the maximum speed for the processing, and that is the reason delay in the processing get reduced. Okay, so these are the different advantages we can have. Then based on that also, we have the different disadvantage also. Failure of main network will stop the entire communication. As in the advantages point, we have seen failure of one machine will not affect the whole network, but if this central if this particular main network where the operating system is installed and it is being shared by all other network computers, so if this central main network get fail, then all other it will affect on all other computers which are connected to it. That is the main disadvantage. Okay, this type of systems are not readily available as they are very expensive. Means these are not the ready-made systems available. If you want to utilize this, you have to give the order for that, and then you have to pay for that. And as you can see, the functionality is huge. Functionality is more. That is the reason these are also very expensive. Okay, and understanding this whole structure is very complex. Okay, and software which we utilize to manage all these things, these are also the very complex in case of the distributed operating system. One of the example of distributed operating system, that is nothing but the Locus. So Locus is also the one of the great example of distributed operating system which are available in the market. Okay, so from this, now if you see the previous two operating system, fifth operating system we have discussed the network operating system, and the sixth we have to discuss the distributed operating system. Now in that you might be seeing some similarity, but there are a lot of differences also. The similarity is nothing but the both of these operating system being installed on some central location, like here also. But here this operating system installed on this central location. Okay, and as well as each of these client are having the different operating system also in case of the network operating system. But in case of distributed operating system, this operating system which is installed here, that is being shared by all other. Okay, that is the main difference between the network operating system and the distributed operating system. The same thing I have put down here. The main difference between these two operating system, that is the network operating system and distributed operating system, is that in case of the network operating system, each node or system can have its own operating system. Means each client that I have shown you in the network operating system, they each of that machine or client might have the different operating system of their own. But that is not the case in case of distributed operating system. In case of the distributed operating system, each node or the system have the same operating system which is opposite to the network operating system. So that is the main difference. In case of the network operating system, the client which are connected to the server, that each of the client may have the different operating system. Okay, our server may have the different operating system as compared to the client. But in case of the distributed operating system, each of the system which are connected to the central communication network, each of that operating system is same. Each of the operating system which is utilized on that each of the client computer or connected computer to the central main network, each of that is having the same kind of operating system. Okay, so also other differences I have also mentioned here, like in case of the network operating system and the distributed operating system. So in case of network operating system, main objective is to provide the local services to the clients. Okay, so mostly it is popular to manage the local services like sharing the printer, scanner, files within a limited area. As opposite to that, the distributed operating system main objective is to manage the hardware resources. Okay, and give the access to the different client computers, to the different hardware resources. Okay, as well as distribute the operating system within all the client computers. Okay, in network operating system, the communication takes place on the basis of files. In distributed operating system, communication takes place on the basis of messages and the shared memory. Third difference we have in case of the network operating system is these are more scalable, and distributed operating system are less scalable as compared with the network operating system. Okay, In case of the network operating system, false tolerance is less, as opposite to that in case of the distributed operating system, fault tolerance is high. Then rate of autonomy in network operating system is high, whereas in case of the rate of autonomy in distributed operating system is less, as the single central communication the operating system which is installed on the central computer is being shared by all other computers. That is the reason the autonomy is less here. Then ease of implementation in network operating system is high. The In order to implement network operating system, it is easy task, but implementing the distributed operating system is a difficult. Okay. Then last and most important difference in network operating system, all nodes or client computers have the different operating system. But in case of the distributed operating system, all nodes have the same operating system. So this last difference is the most important if you want to compare the network operating system and the distributed operating system. Okay. So that's it from the distributed versus the network operating system. Let's see the seventh kind of operating system, and which is most popular nowadays in some limited areas in the market. Okay, that is the the real time operating system. Okay, now for the real time operating system, no specific diagram we have shown, just kind of scenario we have shown, like real time operating system being utilized to interface between the hardware and various other application programs. Okay, but now the important thing you must understand regarding the uh, real time operating system is what kind of uh, application, or in which kind of application, or in which kind of area this kind of operating system is utilized. Now this kind of operating system, if you see the general computers which is being utilized by the programmer or the user, in that case such kind of operating system is not required. Understood? Then where it is required, here I have mentioned. The real time operating system is an operating system that is intended to serve real time application that process the data as it comes in, mostly without buffer delay. Means from the name only you can understand real time operating system. This is the operating system which is utilized in the such kind of application where processing of the data processing of the data has to be done so quickly, without any kind of buffer delay, without any kind of delay. So in the application area where the processing of information required without any kind of delay, the data has to be processed as soon as the data comes, or as soon as the data will become available. At that instant only, the data processing has to be done without any kind of delay. Then such kind of application, the kind of operating system required, that operating system is called as a real-time operating system. So the full form of RTOS is real-time operating system, here I have mentioned. So that from this discussion we can say it is a time-bound system. What it is, a time-bound system that can be defined as a fixed time constraint. Means in this type of system, processing must be done inside the specified constraint, otherwise the system will fail. Means if you have some application where we want to process some task at the time 10:50 a.m. If you want to process some task at the 10:50 a.m., it means that that task must be get processed at the 10 point at the time 10:50 a.m. only, at the time 10:50 a.m. only, not more than any single second, not before any single second of this 10:50 minutes, for example. Okay, 10:50 minutes 00 second. Suppose you want to process some XYZ task at this time, then your task must be get executed, or your task must be get completed, or your task must be get start at the 10:50, at the time 10:50 and 00 second time only. Not the time 10, 50, 01 second also, or not at the time, not at the time 10, 10, 49 minutes, 59 seconds. So not even the difference of, or not even the delay of single second is allowed in case of real-time operating system. So there are the number of applications are available in the market where the task or data processing has to be processed at that instant only without any kind of delay. Now that kind of, now in case of such kind of application, the kind of operating system that is required, that is called as the real-time operating system. Means the certain task, if you want to perform within a particular time bound only, not before the time, not after that time, then that is being considered as a fixed time constraint task has to be completed. So in this kind of system, processing must be done within a specified constraint. If the task will not get start at that specified time, or your task will not get complete at specified time, then your system might be get failed. Understood? So in order to complete your task within a time bound or within a fixed time constraint without any kind of delay, the kind of operating system is utilized that is called as a real time operating system. Okay. So it is not like that kind of operating system you utilize on the system like Windows 10 we utilize. Suppose Windows 10 you utilize and you open your computer, and if you click on some file, then you don't have to worry about that when this file will open, because even if you click on that file and if you take the 5 second 10 second, then also it is not going to affect on you. Understood? Because that is not the any kind of time bound system. If you click on some files, general user. Understood? But that kind of 5 or 10 time of delay is not allowed in certain applications which are like missile system. Now missile has to be shoot at the certain time only. Okay, you cannot we cannot have the any kind of delay in the shooting the missiles. Okay, if there is a certain delay in the shooting the missiles, at that time your enemy might hit you. Okay, and you might get dead. Understood? So that is, so in case of a missile system, the kind of operating system is utilized, that is nothing but the real time operating system, because missile has to be shoot within that particular time only. As well as you can see the flight control system. Okay, airplane control system. Airplane has to be launched at the certain time only, not before the time, not after the time. So also there are the another applications are there that we'll see in the next slides. But here you must understand what exactly the real-time operating system is. Nothing but what the operating system which is utilized in the certain application. Here the task has to be start or task has to be completed within a time bound or within a fixed time constraint. So here I have mentioned the real-time operating system are used in environment where large number of events, mostly external to the computer system, must be accepted and processed in short time or within a certain deadlines. So this kind of operating system generally used in the environment external to the computer. External to the computer in the sense, now regular user or the programmer utilize the Windows 10. So Windows 10, these are now the real-time operating system. So even when you are utilizing the certain operating system like Windows 10 on our system, and even if there is a certain delay in opening application software or execution of your program, then also there is no such kind of major effect, okay, on the system. But certain, there are the certain applications are available in the market where that application has to be where in that particular application the task has to be completed within certain deadlines. So in that kind of application the real time operating system generally get utilized. Okay, accordingly, according to the time limit or the deadlines, or according to the time constraint, the real time operating system also being divided into the certain three types. Okay, so first kind of real time operating system, we have the soft real time operating system. Now these operating system are divided into the soft real time system, then we have the middle real time operating system, and then lastly we have the hard real time operating system. Okay, soft, then second we have the firm soft real time operating system, then second we have the firm or middle real-time operating system, and third we have the hard real-time operating system. Now this division of real-time operating system is done on based on deadline constraint. Based on deadline constraint means in case of soft real-time system, some amount of delay is allowed. Some amount of delay is allowed. In case of firm real-time operating system, only slightly less delay as compared with the soft real-time system is allowed. And lastly, as compared with all the previous two hard real-time operating system, where there is a no delay allowed. Understood? So there is a no strict deadlines in case of the soft real-time system, that we can say. In case of firm real-time system, there is a certain deadlines has to be followed. And lastly, in case of the hard real-time system, the deadlines has to be followed strictly without any kind of microseconds of delay. Okay, so let's see in detail soft real-time system. So soft real-time system allow few delay in processing application. As I said, in processing some tasks, as I mentioned, soft real-time system allow few delays with using this operating system. But in soft real-time system also some deadlines has to be followed. Some deadlines also are given to complete some job or the task. So in this system, do not allow delay in large amount of time. So delay is allowed, but that delay is also not so large. So due to that mechanism, their deadlines are managed by the soft real-time system, soft real-time operating system. So in the market, some applications are there where the small amount of delay is allowed, not the very high amount of delay. So in that kind of application, soft real-time operating system are utilized. Now, which are that applications or the tasks which are there in the market where the soft real-time operating systems are utilized? Like you can see your smartphone cameras, okay, or the smartphone itself. Then data management in the online transaction, in the online bid in the stock exchange. Online bid in the stock exchange म्हणजे काय? When you put the order in the share market to buy some share or to buy some stock. So mainly you must focus on these first two examples, cameras and smartphones or the online transaction. So all of you are using the smartphones. Now even in the smartphone, if you click on some application, now that application always takes some time to open that. Understood? So in that case, that kind of operating system which is utilized there is nothing but the referred as a soft real-time operating system. So you can call the Android operating system as a soft real-time operating system. Also, you click on the camera, that also takes some microseconds to take the pictures. Understood? Also, you do the online transaction, net banking, that also takes some kind of delay to receive the money from sender to the receivers. So in that all the application, the kind of operating system utilized, that is called as a soft real-time operating system. And it is referred as a soft real-time operating system because some amount of delay is allowed in processing that particular task or in completing that particular job. That is the reason this kind of operating system is referred as a soft real-time operating system. Okay. Then next operating system, you have the firm real-time operating system. Now, as compared with the soft real-time system, in case of the firm real-time operating system, delay is less as compared with the soft. In case of real-time operating system, in case of firm real-time operating system, delay is less. Okay, so here I have mentioned in firm real-time operating system, it accepts the more deadline rules. Means deadlines are slightly strict as compared with the soft real-time operating system in case of the firm real-time system. That is the reason here I have mentioned. In firm real-time operating system, it accepts the more deadline rules. So occurrence of the missing deadlines are not getting more impact, but could be show some unpredictable outputs, and due to that, it can reduce the quality of all products. So what are that kind of application where such kind of firm real-time operating system are utilized? Now, one of the great example of application where soft real-time operating system utilized is nothing but the automatic door open close, automatic door open lock system. Now you must have seen when you go to the some uh, uh, high class mall in the metro city, they are having that particular door lock system. As soon as you go in front of that particular glass door, automatically it get opens As soon as you cross that door, it get automatically closed. Understood? So in that kind of system, the firm real-time operating system is utilized. Understood? Now, in that case, certain strict deadlines has to be followed in case of automatic door open lock system, because you go on walking, and if that glass door doesn't get open, okay, then you might get hit with that glass door. Understood? So that is the reason the deadlines rules are slightly strict in case of the firm real-time system as compared with the soft real-time operating system. Okay, then different multimedia products also, this kind of firm real-time operating system being get utilized. Okay, and then lastly and mostly utilized real-time operating system is the hard real-time operating system. Now here there is a nothing there in case of hard real-time operating system, there is a zero delay allowed. The deadlines are very strict in case of the hard real-time system. So here I have mentioned, in the hard real-time system, all feeding tasks must begin to execute on predefined scheduling time. Means if you want to execute some task at the 11 a.m., then that task must be get executed at 11 a.m. only, not at the 10:59 a.m. or not at the 11:01 second a.m. also. So that is the reason here I have mentioned the all feeding tasks must begin to execute on predefined scheduling time, and their given all tasks must be done within a allocated time duration. So if the scenario is like task must start at the 11:00 second and task must get complete at the 11.5 minutes 00 second, then that task must be get completed within this stipulated or scheduled time only, not before the time, not after the time. So such in if there are so such kind of such kind of many applications are available in the market which has to follow the strict deadlines. So in that kind of application, the kind of operating system utilized, that is called as a hard real-time operating system. Okay. So due to that, in this kind of operating system, all deadlines are managed very strictly. Now come to the example where this kind of operating system are utilized. So as I already told you, automatic control system like anti-lock and airbag system. Now in the car, these anti-lock and airbag systems are utilized. If there is this car get an accident, then that airbag has to be open within a microsecond. Okay, what that airbag has to be within open within a microseconds. If that bag not get airbag not get open within microseconds, then there may be a danger to the life of that particular passenger. So that is the case in case of anti-lock and airbag system. Hard real-time operating system get utilized, because that opening of airbag, that event has to be triggered as soon as your car get hit with some obstacle or with another car. So that is the reason in airbag system, hard real-time operating system are being utilized, because there is a nothing kind of delays allowed in opening the airbag. If airbag not get open within that stipulated time, then there may be a danger to the life of that passenger and the driver. Okay. So that is the reason in the anti-lock and airbag system, hard real-time operating systems are utilized. Then airline control system. So in the airline control system, in the flight control system also, this kind of operating systems are utilized as the particular aeroplane must be get launched and must be get reached to the certain location within a time only. Okay. Then medical system, diagnosis control system, in the medical field also, this kind of operating system we are utilized. Now in case of medical field, where this kind of operating system can utilize in order to do the different kind of internal organ surgery. What? In order to do the different kind of internal organ surgery also, such kind of operating systems are utilized in various applications. Understood? This is very important. Then as I already told you, in the missile system, if there is a war is happening between the two countries, okay, country one and the country two, each of these country will have their missiles. So suppose this country one is having the missile system with them, and if they want to launch the missile at the time 10 a.m., okay, so that missile should be get launched at the 10 a.m. only. If there is a delay in launching that missile of which has to be launched at the 10 a.m., if it is not get launched at the 10 a.m. but get launched at the 10:5 a.m., then other country, that is the country two, might get this country two might launch their missiles and they can hit this country one. Okay, so that is the reason missile system utilize the hard real-time system so that certain missile must be get launched within a time only. Understood? So that is all about the real-time system, its types and different examples. So based on that, there are the certain advantages and the disadvantages are there real in case of the real-time operating system. So advantage is what? Maximum consumption means maximum utilization of all devices and the system. And that is the reason we can get the more output from the resources. We can get the more output because of this real-time operating system. Then shifting is one of the advantage. So time assigned for shifting the task in this system is very less. So as you know, each particular task is given time, and within that time only that task has to be completed and the start. Okay, from that we can get the advantage of task shifting happen within very less time. So time assigned for shifting task in this system are very less. For example, in older system, it takes about 10 microseconds to shift the task. Shift the task in the sense going from this task one to the task two. Going from in the sense switching of the operating system from this one task to the second task. So in the older kind of operating system which are not real time, in that the time being taken is about the 10 or more than 10 microseconds. Okay, but in case of modern real time system, that time of task shifting has been now reduced up to the 3 microseconds. So that is the one advantage. Then focus on the application, focus on running application and less importance given to the application which are in the queue. Means if there are the 10 applications are there, and currently the real-time operating system is having this first application under process, so the most focus is being done on this task one, not on the rest of the other 9. Okay, error free, this type of operating system are this type of operating system are very less errors, okay, as compared with the other operating system. Also with the advantages, different kind of disadvantages also there. So one of the important disadvantage here is nothing but the limited tasks. Now this kind of operating system are designed and developed to perform some limited tasks. So here I have mentioned very few tasks run at the same time, and their concentration is very less on the few application to avoid the errors. Okay. Then second disadvantage we have, use heavy system resources. Sometimes these system resources are not so good and they are very expensive. So resources which we have to utilize in the real time operating system, like resources, you can see the memories or the processor. So the cost of this kind of resource is very heavy, very high. Complex algorithm. Okay, the algorithm that are being utilized to design such kind of operating system are very complex, because you can see the main feature of this kind of operating system is nothing but the processing the task within a certain deadlines only. Okay. Another disadvantage or the limitation, we can say, device drivers and the interrupt signals. So it needs the specific kind of device drivers as compared with the other general operating system which are not real time. Okay, so device drivers are being need to be utilized, specific kind of device drivers we have to utilize. Okay, and their prices are also used to be very high. So that is all about the real time operating system, its types, advantage, disadvantage, etc. Okay. Now we have reached the last kind of operating system which usually we are utilizing every day, every minute you must be utilizing, that is the mobile operating system. Okay, so the functionality of this operating system is same as compared with the operating system that we utilize on the computers. Only difference is what? These operating system are slightly lightweight, okay, because they have to be utilized on the mobiles. So a mobile operating system is an operating system that helps to run the other application software on the mobile device. So if you want to utilize the music player on the mobile, if you want to utilize the camera on the mobile, if you want to utilize some other cam scanner on the mobile, other scanner devices on your other scanner application on your mobile, if you want to utilize the other picture editing software on your mobile, okay, whatever other application that you want to run on your mobile, the only environment using which you can run this application on your mobile, that is nothing but the mobile operating system. Okay, so it is the same kind of software as a famous computer operating system, like which you utilize as a Linux operating system, Windows or other operating system. But only difference is what? They are slightly lightweight in the sense their configuration is slightly light as compared with the computer operating system, in the sense the kind of resources which is required by the mobile operating system, like processor, memory, they are slightly less as compared with the processor memory which is required by the operating system that you utilize on the computer. That is the reason it is being said mobile operating systems are light as compared with the computer operating systems. Okay. Now let's see the some popular platform of the mobile operating system or the some popular example of mobile operating system. And one of the most importantly that most of the people utilizing nowadays the Android OS. Okay, so Android operating system is the most popular operating system nowadays, and it is a mobile based OS, Linux kernel, mobile based Linux kernel based open source system software. That is the Android operating system. Okay, so it is being developed by the developed and managed by the Google. Okay, and first Android device uh, using Android operating system were launched in the year 2008, and from that various versions of Android operating systems are available in the market. Okay, then second kind of operating system we have the Bada. Now in the Bada is a kind of operating system which is being mostly utilized in the Samsung mobiles. Okay, so Bada is the Samsung mobile operating system which is being launched in the year 2010. Okay, so Android is a mostly utilized operating system. Now you can see the most of the mobiles are having the Android operating system only. If you use the Redmi or other kind of different kind of mobile companies. Okay. Then another third kind of mobile operating system are the BlackBerry operating system. So mostly in the BlackBerry mobiles, the BlackBerry operating system is utilized. Here I have mentioned the BlackBerry operating system is a mobile operating system developed by Research in Motion RIM company, and this operating system was designed specifically for BlackBerry mobiles or for the BlackBerry devices. Okay. Then another important and popular operating system was the iPhone operating system. The iPhone operating system was developed by the Apple company for the use on its Apple mobiles. Okay. So the iOS operating system, most popular operating system nowadays in the high class mobiles. Okay. As you know, the prices of the Apple mobiles are higher as compared to the other mobiles. And then also we have the Windows operating system, Windows mobile operating system. So in the Microsoft mobiles, this Windows operating system generally get utilized. So Windows Mobile OS is mobile operating system that was developed by the Microsoft. So Microsoft mobiles are also there in the market. So in that mobiles, Windows mobile system is utilized. So it was designed for the pocket PCs and the smart mobiles. And this is also the popular kind of operating system being utilized in the market. Okay, so that's it from the this lecture where we have discussed the four kind of operating system. Like first we have discussed the network operating system, then we have distributed operating system, then we have discussed the real-time operating system, and lastly we have discussed the mobile operating system. I hope all of you have understood. So if any doubt, you can go through the lecture once again. And still you have the doubt, you can comment me in the comment section. I will really definitely answer all of your doubts. Okay, thank you all of you.